right, folks, good morning and welcome. It's a Thursday, but come to think of it, January 10, 2019, the year is up to our knees already, so time is of the essence. Today, the federal government organized labor detente on minimum wage. The war of nerves between the central government and organized labor over a new national minimum wage eased somewhat when President Buhari broached it during the 2019 budget presentation to the National Assembly late last year. True to his promise, on the day, a technical advisory committee on the implementation of a new national minimum wage has been announced, chaired by renowned economist Bismarck Rewane. Now, the advisory group has experienced economists and administrators on board. Its terms of reference is threefold. One, advise government on new sources of funds. Two, ways of implementing the proposed new wages. And three, propose a work plan and modalities for implementation. The committee has 4 weeks to deliver. Let's quickly get cracking. The first of my two expected guests is here. Dr. Jide Johnson is a journalist first and foremost, but he's also a commentator on national affairs. Jide Johnson, I greet you.
It's a pleasure to be with you, Citizen Joe.
We expect Comrade Aremu to join us. He's of the organized labor. Any moment soon, he should be here. Jide, so how do we find out? The advisory committee is here.
It's important. It's in our instant law that the minimum wage should be reviewed periodically. And the last review was done in 2011. And we should have had one, I think we should have had one in 2011.
2016?
2016.
We had one in 2011.
2011. We should have had five years period. Yeah. We should have had one in 2016. And it's better late than never. And I think this is where the government should have started from, having a tripartite committee that has the organized labor representative of the government. But it submitted
its report. We are behind, all that's behind us. The report recommended 30,000 minimum wage.
Which is a welcome development. And from what we read in terms of feelers coming from the presidency, by January 23rd or 24th, the president will present an executive bill for on the new national minimum wage. Yeah. And I also read that the president said that they'll work and liaise with the governors of the respective state, even though the issue of national minimum wage is an exclusive item on our list, and which I think is one of the areas in which we need to review, because I believe, and I strongly believe, that we should have national benchmark for people working for federal government, while at the state level, let each state negotiate. That's the true spirit of federalism, because if we fix the national minimum wage at that rate, how many states could afford to pay that? And I think that a worker in Lagos should not be collecting the same amount of money with a worker in the northeast or somewhere in the north central, in Taraba State, for example, in Adamawa State, for example. The standard of living are different, the cost of living in these respective areas are different, and that really put in the spirit of true federalism. And if you also look at the revenue bills of each of these states, I think it's an area which we need to review. Let each state pay according to its ability, because the 18,000 old minimum wage, because a new one has been proposed, not even all the states are paying the minimum wage. And I think one of the areas, like you said in your opening monologue, is that we have renowned economists, and they were given 3 specific money on how government can generate revenue, new sources of income. I think that the economic drive of this nation should be how we either revalue the naira or we denominate the naira, so that the naira can compete. If you pay, if the value of $1 to a naira is 20 naira, for example, 20 naira to $1, even if you pay somebody 1,000 naira or 5,000 or 3,000 naira, you know, they will still be able to compete favorably. The exchange rate dimension, the economic dimension, beyond the wage dimension, the economic dimension, the fiscal dimension of it, we need to really look into it in terms of making lives better for an average Nigerian. Because government can increase the minimum wage. What about the inflationary effect? Now, if the minimum wage is not backed up with a sound economic policy, we still go back to square one.
Again, I'm a neophyte when it comes to economic matters. Elementary economics would tell you that if you don't produce, you can't generate funds. In this case, we were producing until maybe the early 80s up to mid 80s when the dollar was still, the naira was competing strongly against the dollar. So it's going back to the drawing board. Now let's find out. Some states insist they cannot pay the 30. Benue State says it cannot pay the 30,000 naira. Of course, you said, talked about the economic base of many states and so on. We go back to the Constitution that has overburdened the central government, 66 items on the exclusive list. So your National Assembly has a lot of work to do.
You are going to an issue we keep running away from, and I think which talks about restructuring.
I'm not
saying you keep now. When you talk about, it's about changing the structure of government. Government is in terms of structure and in terms of organ. In terms of government, you have, in terms of organ, you have the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary. In terms of structure, because people need education to be enlightened, to be empowered. In terms of structure, we have three structures of government: the local government, the state government.
Have you heard the argument, even if plausible, that local government is not captured there?
No, it's not captured in 1999 Constitution. I'm just telling you. Now,
but it is here to stay.
It is here to stay. That's why it's calling for the structure of government. Now, the local government, and that's why we have not seen a bit of meaningful development at the grassroots level. That's why you have most of the local government.
But you appropriate funds to the local government.
Is the contradiction of the contraption called the 1999 Constitution. Now, you have the local government in terms of structure. You have the state government, and then you have the federal government. Now, in that structure, if the head, which is the federal, the head, is taking, if your head is 66% of your body, is that a good structure? So we have a deformed structure in terms of structure of governance. People run away from it, but they don't have a deeper understanding of it. You are saying that, you know what, we need to restructure the government, that some of the items, some of the things that federal government is doing, we should give back to the state government, and most of the work of the local government that the state has taken, we should give back to the local government. That's what it's all about. So it's about allocating responsibility, sharing responsibility among the constituent structure of government. And you agree that why should national minimum wage be an exclusive item?
Yeah.
There should be national minimum wage for federal government workers. And there should be, each state should pay according to its ability. You know, each state cannot pay. They can only pay when they receive their allocation from the federal government. And I think that in this campaign season, we need to begin to ask, why would you offer yourself as a candidate for election as a state governor when you know you cannot provide solution to the problem? You see, Nigeria is blessed with natural resources.
Start with when you cannot even fund your campaign.
That's when you cannot even fund
your campaign.
No,
it's an aside.
Because it takes us to another area that requires a major surgical operation, which is in terms of campaign. So I want to be the governor of Lagos State. I should be able to, okay, how many workforce? I can throw it to you that if we put a phone call through to all those that are aspiring to be the governor of Lagos State, for them to give us the accurate number of the workforce of Lagos, I'm not sure one of them will be able to give it to us. You want to govern a state, you don't...
Including the so-called ghost workers.
Are you including the ghost workers? Are you with me to give us the accurate number of the existing workers and then the ghost workers? Now, you should be able to know the state of the affairs. Most states cannot pay until they get the federal allocation. Are you with me now? But if the states are allowed to determine their minimum wage, if some of the items we have taken to exclusive list are returned to the concurrent list, the state will have a little bit of funds and they can look inward to solve some of these problems which we are talking about.
But you know, sometimes we leave the substance and chase shadows. The question of a restructuring of the polity should never have been there. The 1963 Constitution, and I'd said it more than once on this platform, is begging for a revival, you know.
A rebirth.
Yeah, you know, it's there, you know, dust it up, because we practiced it at a time. How did Awolowo do all he did in the old Western region? It was because of the Republican Constitution. Can't we go back there?
I think one of the greatest challenge we have is military interregnum in Nigerian politics. The introduction of unitary system of governance, which we have not changed since Ango Ironsi took over, and I've said it over and over again. Unfortunately for us, in this Fourth Republic, we have had cause to have two presidents that are of military antecedents. So we have a centralized structure. But taking the argument to the minimum wage, which we are talking about, you understand that presently in the United States of America, there's a government shutdown. Government shutdown did not affect employees of state government. It did not affect the employees of local government. It only affected employees of the federal government, and say about 800. You know, it will shock you to know that in the United States of America, the total employees of the federal government are 800,000 plus.
You don't say.
800,000.
We'll come back there. But I do have Comrade Abiodun Aremu, I beg your pardon, holding on. He is, by definition, the Joint Secretary, Labor and Civil Societies Coalition, and Secretary, Joint Action Front. Comrade, I greet you.
Pleasure joining and listening to you.
Happy New Year.
We wish you the same, and everybody who are the viewers at home.
All right, then. It appears the federal government and organized labor has reached a detente on the minimum wage. What's your reaction?
I think it's not about whether we have reached any truce on the minimum wage. The point clearly is about transmitting the recommendation of the tripartite committee to the National Assembly for the necessary enabling law for the minimum wage to take effect. So whatever the FG is doing is just part of the time-wasting exercises, setting up a technical committee to advise it. That's not the business of labor. The business is that there was a tripartite committee that was long in setting up because the wage was due for review as at March 2016. So what the government has simply done is to further expose its own irresponsibility on this matter. So whether now or 23rd, transmit the consensus reached at the tripartite committee, which already has been submitted as far back as the first week of November 2018 to the National Assembly. You can move on from there.
All right, Comrade, please confirm the envisioned strike is on hold.
Confirm what?
The envisioned strike, which you are planning, is on hold, or?
The strike is on hold, but it may become inevitable if government continues its manipulative policy.
These are your words.
Yeah, no, these are the words of labor, organized labor.
Okay. Well, that's what I meant by your. Now,
Yes, there was. Yeah.
have we factored the responses across board from state governors into the whole thing, in the whole mix?
Negotiation has been concluded. We are not talking about negotiations any longer. Because the presentation of 65,000 naira was the proposal of organized labor based on the cost of living allowance. So
all right.
The governors made their proposal. They are in the committee. So they are members of the tripartite committee. So it's not about any negotiation.
Yeah, but when the governors, many of them say, look, we are unable to pay the agreed 30,000 naira. How do you react to this?
No, when did they realize they have to do a turn back? They have 6 representatives in the tripartite committee. So we are not reopening the tripartite committee now.
Okay, government says this committee, technical committee, has 4 weeks to deliver. You don't trust it?
No, it has nothing to do with the tripartite committee.
No. I mean the technical committee headed by...
The technical committee is for the government. Is to advise the government on how to generate funds to implement the minimum wage. So it is not the business of labor on this matter.
Yeah, but
the only thing that labor is concerned about is the attempt by the president to introduce another dimension into the negotiation. So we are not in negotiation now. We were talking about those who are earning above 30,000, how to do the parity. It is clear when there is a minimum wage, the percentage increase in that is worked out to determine the parity in view of the need to redress inequality in wages. Those are the factors.
So what do you plan to do? Give it the 4 weeks moratorium, the 4-week window?
No, from even what the president said yesterday, we don't have 4 weeks with them. He said between the inaugurations of that committee, between yesterday and the 23rd, they will transmit that report to the National Assembly. So it has nothing to do with the technical committee.
All right. So what, to you, organized labor should happen between now and the 23rd?
No, we can only wait till 20, but anything short of 23rd, there will just be a general strike. That's our position.
All right. A strike as a last resort.
Yeah, it's a last resort, where government become irresponsible in obeying agreement collectively reached.
But this minimum wage palaver has been a long time coming. 2011, 2012, through to now. Comrade, just a minute. Comrade, just a minute. Between then and now, there had been a series of strikes, and it took us nowhere. That's what I'm saying.
Which strike was on what?
Minimum wage.
There is no minimum wage that we have achieved without a struggle. Without the struggle, we will not achieve it. So the strike pays off. In 2011, government was served notice since 2009. And not until March 23rd, 2011, that we have the minimum wage act of that 15,000 naira. And there was clear substantive issues in that act, which has to do that every 5 years there must be periodic review of that. A responsible government need not wait even for any service of notice to know that the minimum wage was due 2.5 years ago. That's the issue.
All right. Have you heard this? We are not able to independently confirm it, that most times labor had been compromised when it comes to stuff like this.
That's not correct.
So puncture that balloon.
Let me give you an information that will interest you.
Go on.
In almost 75 years, there have not been demand for minimum wage for more than 8 times. 1942, led by Michael Imodu, it was called the cost of living allowance. 1945, the general strike led by Imodu. 1964, general strike also led by Imodu, Goodluck and others. 71, the Adebo Award was another minimum wage struggle. The Udoji Award was the only award that was given. You see, without the
that was in 74.
That's 75.
Okay, 75. All right.
Then 81, the struggle for minimum wage led by Adam Sumano. Then 81 to 2000, Adam Oshomale. The last one, 2009. This is the current one.
So this cycle must continue.
You know, what we are saying that the cycle ought not to continue because by virtue of the 2011 Minimum Wage Act, they are supposed to be reviewed every 5 years. Any responsible government will not wait. You see, now they were served notice in 2016. The tripartite committee was not constituted until November 2017. And in the midst of it, you have the Minister of Labor who was just unnecessarily eating up the polity. At a point, he said he's suspending discussions at that level.
Yeah, but comrade, this is because at the other side, at the other end of the coin, you were not playing ball. Playing ball means...
What is the ball?
Oh, hold on. Playing ball means look at government's side to the logic.
Which is government? What is government?
Tell me.
No, what is that? What is government? Government should derive its consent from the people. Why do they seek for votes? But because they could manipulate the electoral processes year in after election, that is why you have that kind of irresponsibility in government.
Okay. Are you factoring in the economic situation in the country?
What is the economic situation?
The naira, comrade, the naira is weak. The naira is weak. We aren't earning much, and there's corruption. Comrade, there's corruption in the system. Corruption in the system.
Already been encouraged by the same government claiming to fight corruption?
Government has bailed, this particular government has bailed out, has bailed out states. But comrade, this is not,
of corruption.
But listen, this is not me versus you or Jones versus Labour. But I'm saying, over time, we have talked about corruption in the system and blah, 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 which we played down. Government has bailed out states. Many states have, even the 18,000 naira, they're still owing arrears. And Labour won't go on strike. Hold on, Labour won't go on strike. Hold on, Labour won't go on strike on salaries that are owed. But this is your time to go on strike because...
No, Labour has been going on strike on salaries that are owed.
Okay. So what did you achieve? Did you achieve anything?
We achieved by getting some of... Yeah, we achieved. You see, you cannot deny somebody his entitlement.
You don't want me to name a particular state that's owing up to 18 months? You want me to name it?
Yeah, the fight is still on. It's a debt that
what fight?
It's a debt that they have to pay.
We expect when you picket places, can't you picket a state? Is it?
You see, the state you want to talk about maybe Kogi State.
I don't know. Tell me. You are telling me. I don't know. Are you telling me?
No, I'm telling you that even in that state,
yeah,
the governor, with the connivance and support of the presidency,
for what?
A trade union leader was killed in that state on a protest. We have not forgotten.
Listen to.
I'm not holding.
In Kogi State.
Comrade, here the guest on the show. Your colleague.
I'm not holding brief for the president.
This is Dr. Jide Johnson. Yeah.
But the president said
that.
The president said what? The president said that workers should not vote for governors that did not pay their salary. It shows the it shows the sincerity.
He's not the one to decide that.
No, just listen. It shows because you are talking about the connivance of the presidency.
What happened in
Kogi State? I'm giving you, but that would be a contradiction for him to say 2 days ago.
About it.
But comrade, 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 we are on air. We are not at the negotiating table.
Exactly.
I am so Kogi State was. Hold on. But you are the Aluta man. I am not. I'm a broadcaster. But I'm saying Kogi State had been given.
But you are the referee.
Thank you.
In a match when they are
take your whistle. Take your whistle. Let me stay there. and use my voice. I am saying in Kogi State, the governor was giving a bailout fund. You remember that?
Yes, there were protests.
And what do you mean by protest? Was the situation bailed out in Kogi?
No, I'm saying that every state was giving bailout.
And what happened? What did Labour do?
The godfather of
what did Labour do? What did Labour do? What did Labour do?
Protested.
Labour did nothing. Labour did nothing.
No, that's unfair.
So why is Kogi on the front burner?
Go and check your TVC records. It's unfair.
No. Why is Kogi on the front burner? Why is Kogi on the front burner?
The argument is, comrade, the argument is, the argument is Labour should not wait. Listen, Labour should not only protest over minimum wage, but for non-payment of salaries, what efforts?
I said Labour has been protesting that, except you are not in
No. It is not protest.
You are not being economical with the truth. Protests over arrears of salaries are all over.
I am saying if
true that the workers are being owed and that they are not protesting.
Hold on. According to you, a Labour member was killed in Kogi State.
A Labour leader, not just any member.
Okay. So what did Labour do? Regarding that, what did Labour do?
No, I'm just telling you now. The state under its weight of repressions. You get it? Well, these are things that are going on. The state under its weight of repression.
All right. So you go on strike. Oh, hold on. The current government cannot quickly implement the new minimum wage. You go on strike. After a while, we call off the strike. We return to normal.
That blackmail. You see, we refuse that blackmail. Because why
no.
Strike beyond
Please
minimum wage?
say that again.
Let me address that question.
Where's the blackmail coming from? Where's the blackmail coming from? From me?
No. Will you listen to my argument?
Go on.
I'm saying that why do you have incessant strike? It is because government betray agreement. As we see in the 8 weeks of strike.
As well as the complicity of Labour too. Because Labour waits until the dying minute before Labour reacts.
And the impression is created that Labour will wait at for a particular time. Hold on. Labour will wait for a particular time like this, election
That's not correct.
30 or so days.
That is not correct.
But
That is not correct.
It's also Nigerian to think that way.
The matters on the ground, there are series of letters that are written, series of memos. There are press conferences, there are engagements, there are meetings that they have attended.
Comrade, can I ask a question?
Go on with your question.
Now, comrade, why should a worker in Lagos collect the same salary with a worker in Taraba State?
Then why should the governor in Lagos and the one in Zamfara also collect the same salary? From what part are they getting the money?
Because I'm just throwing. Listen, I'm looking. Labour, listen.
Why should a senator from Kano?
I'm looking beyond.
Why should a senator from Kano do what? Yeah.
Why should a senator from Kano and a senator from Oyo receive the same salary?
Good. Comrade Aremu, at this point, wouldn't it have been better for Labour to say, no, what you are earning is out of this life? So what did you do?
How many times has that been done?
Let me just respond to his response. What the senator
Aremu, don't be surprised. Jide is asking. Jide is also a journalist.
The senator is the senator of the Federal Republic. The worker is the worker of Taraba State. We are just using those states as illustration. Now, the worker is worker of Taraba State. The worker, the worker is worker of Lagos State. The cost of living.
Lagos, where are you receiving allocation from the federal?
Which takes to, if you follow...
No, just hold on. Why are you receiving allocation from federal?
Which should be some of the arguments of Labour beyond the salaries of the worker. There is the need for us to change this structure.
You see your argument. Even with your claim to come from progressive traditions, I will challenge you. Go and read our law manifesto. in 1959.
What
to contest for presidency on minimum wage.
What I'm saying...
No, I said first, for you to understand minimum wage, for the tradition you want to claim to come from, let's have the Awolow's argument. No, I said if you don't have it, go and check it out.
Comrade Aremu, I'd rather we talked about 2019, which is with us here.
There is a sense of history you must report about.
Hold on.
There is a sense of history about it.
I agree. We can't wish history away. No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I cannot wait for a day when organized labor. Wait, listen now. Listen.
From the same federal pool.
Now you think I am at the, we are not at the negotiating table. That's behind us. I am saying I'm waiting for a day when organized labor will picket the National Assembly. Do what's right.
National Assembly has been picketed several times.
With what result?
No, you see.
That is the point, because the people there refuse to be responsible and sensitive to people's demands.
So what are you saying in effect?
You can't draw a gun. You see, the analogy you are giving is that you draw a gun to a man that is down, and he kept fighting. The spirit of his fight is what is important. So the fact that he has not risen from where you kept him with your power of gun,
comrade,
the power of repression, that is what is happening.
Comrade.
So you now say, what has he achieved? He has achieved something.
Comrade.
But say clearly, I reject this.
Comrade,
one day he will get it.
You referred me to a 1959 document.
My brother, see why you say
no. I'm going somewhere. You are saying that I agree with you that the past has relevance to do with the present, and the present will give you projection for the future. But if you go to that past, which we are talking about, in terms of structure of government that we have, in terms of structure, we have a truly federal structure of government.
No, it's not about the structure.
Now, listen now.
It's not about the structure.
Listen.
It's about the commitment to the people. You see, you have government, you have people, leadership who are committed to the people. And that's why those things work.
What was the population of the workforce in 1959? To the population of the workforce in 19... Then
government has to be there and just be distributing resources?
Comrade.
Putting resources in pocket?
Comrade, listen. I can tell you that in 1959, the organized private sector has more workers than the public sector.
Yeah.
Now, listen. Now, government is the major employer of labor in 2019. Unfortunately, we shouldn't be. You see, the thesis of the argument of myself and Jones is this: that there are deeper issues beyond the wages and salaries that labor should be concerned with.
That's it.
That labor should be concerned with deeper issues other than wages and salaries.
You are talking about.
It is only when there is wages and salaries that labor begins to show its true color, its fighting spirit. Beyond that, there are deeper issues in the society that listen.
You are in Lagos here. You are in Lagos here. Let me just give you a small example.
Okay.
Because when you say it's only on salaries, when Fashola increased tuitions from 25,000 naira to 350,000 naira, and denied people to claim that over 10,000 students could not claim admission for 3 or 4 years, we fought it out. Today, many of those who could not claim those admissions could have been Boko Haram people, could have been criminals.
Yeah.
And our position, I'm not saying.
And you won. I agree. Comrade Aremu, let me give it to you. You won that war. Okay?
It's a labor war.
I agree. It's not your war. But by the way, we appear to be losing our cool. We appear to be losing our cool because we are not here, so in person. But I know you people are more.
Thanks to the traffic. I wish I were there.
Well, come here now.
He's here.
Now.
But you are here. You are here.
You are here. Technology has made it possible.
I'm there spiritually.
Yeah. But let me say, Labour sometimes in this country, will behave like politicians who will always be ready to fight the last war.
That is not correct.
But you play politics. Hold on. You play politics. Now you cited Fashola, Governor Fashola, when he upped the tuition fees. And so you fought that war and you succeeded. But we are saying in 2019, a senator is said to be earning humongous salaries, no less so a member of the House of Reps. What is Labour doing, even when you agree?
Let me now answer that question. Can I answer that question?
Go on.
Labour is not just trade unions.
Okay.
Labour is all categories of the working people. Because the wage a worker earns has multiplied effect for all working people around. So, Citizen Jones, you are a worker. You get it? And others. And that's the argument that we are saying, that if you are paying from the federal pool a senator, at least from Shehu Sunni conservative figure, 30.6 million on a monthly basis. The highest paid professor in the universities receives 500,000 per month. So what it means is that a senator can afford to give us almost about 20 professors. So what's the standard of our education? That's what you pay for in education. That your standards are low because your priorities are wrong. You see, how do you measure the work of a senator and the work of a professor?
Abio.
And that's the argument, you see, that's the argument by some other people saying that public elected officers should earn the same with the public office holders or servants. That's the point, because you are drawing the resources from the same place. And a minister from Rwanda made that statement in 2003.
But my problem, Comrade Aremo, my problem here is when you pick and choose your wars, the wars you fight.
Yeah.
You pick and choose them, and it's confusing to me.
There's nothing confusing about that.
There is everything confusing about that. If the senator and the member of the House of Reps, and in fact, including your state members of the assembly, earn humongous salaries, should that not trouble Labour enough?
We are troubled as well. You see me being passionate on this issue.
No, you are being evasive.
No,
you are being evasive. You are being evasive.
No, I'm not evasive. I said there have been protests over this. Why did we protest against privatization?
So you protest when you go on strike. Have you gone on strike over what the National Assembly members are taking home?
No.
Have you?
And
have you gone on strike over the fact that certain states, in spite of bailouts, are still owing salaries? You have not.
Okay, don't worry. We'll soon go and flush them out. Then you now know that Labour is protesting.
No, now you are playing soccer.
No, I'm not.
No. But thank you very kindly. You made me lose my cool.
You can't lose
I
your
am
cool.
not always like this.
Citizen Jones.
I am not an aluta man.
Nigeria because you are in the studio.
I'm taking cover here. You are taking cover there. But please help Nigeria. Labour can come. Be the man in the middle. Labour can be the man in the middle. Government here, politicians here. You can pick and choose your wars.
And then for them to be a political. For us to have a viral democracy.
Be a political.
Yeah. For us to have a viral democracy. Comrade.
We should be a political.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Comrade, for us to have a viral democracy, organized labor has a critical role to play.
And the role is to be a political.
Has a role to play. You see, most of the labor leaders are members of the ruling political party in their respective states. Let's tell ourselves the truth. Let's tell ourselves the truth.
And name them.
Name who? Name who? So that you go. So you go to court. You go to court, pick your lawyers, win your cases, and so on. At that point, you are no longer a labor man.
We need the organized labor to be apolitical. We need the organized civil society. And you said you are joint secretary. We need the organized civil society. The organized civil society is critical and central for us to have a viral democracy. Some of us need not to be partisan, because with the way things are, when government do the right thing, when governments do the right thing, it is for the benefit of all. So labor should not limit its fight to the wages and salaries of a closed segment. If you look at the
don't pick and choose your war fronts, because you can win the battles and lose the war. Okay?
Okay, Citizen Joe, can I also ask a question?
Ask me.
When there was to be a negotiation between a union in which a minister of labor was involved, the meeting could not hold because they said the minister of labor traveled for medical checkup abroad.
He's right.
Himself is a medical doctor. No, I'm just saying. Himself is a medical doctor. So now, when you are talking of priorities, how do you build our own medical industry, our own medical technology, when public officers, you see, fritter away our money in the name of obstacles and everything for that?
Labor never, for one day, labor never went on strike regarding that. Labor never went on strike regarding that.
We are sounding notices. I'm sounding those notices so that when we want to
so don't come on.
Say, what is our business on that?
You know what we mean by sour grapes. Don't serve us sour grapes here.
I think
we have had more than enough. But I hear we must let you go. But I have this.
You want to dismiss me now?
Wait now. There's a proverb in my native Ibibio land. They say, I no go speak Ibibio. Let me paraphrase it. It says, ideas are like children crying at a church or mosque service. They must be carried out immediately.
Yeah.
If you have your ideas, good ideas, carry them out immediately. They are crying. Okay? I wish you well.
Are you rounding up the program or you are dismissing me, Citizen Jones?
Not dismiss. We can't continue this war now. It doesn't pay anybody.
There's no war again.
I beg. Drop anchor. All right, let's take this little break and we'll come back. So we've reached a detente, a middle ground.
I guess both of you are caught up in the traffic.
Please call us, be a part of this discussion, raise new issues, join them, ask new questions. We might be able to broach them. Jide, now governors had said they would only be able to pay the 30,000 minimum wage if it becomes law on one condition: they must shed weight, sack workers.
You know, my argument from inception is that why would you want to go?
Let's quickly take Yakub. Yakub, you are here in Lagos. I greet you. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Citizen.
Yeah.
And then Dr. Jide Johnson. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, my brother.
Let me begin by saying that God Almighty will bless both of you because you really fight for us this morning. The truth must be bitter. I can see that the labor person on the other side, he was being economical with the truth. Let me begin by saying this. Dr. Jide Johnson, you can imagine. Somebody said that federal government collude with Kogi State killing labor leaders. Then they were not going on strike based on that. Then another one is that Senator Shehu mentioned 30.5 million running costs for a senator. You asked him. He bent the rules. They were not going on strike based on that. There is some company in this country whereby there is a lot of people, they are using them the way they like. Labor never going on strike. See, Citizen Jones, let me tell you, you might mention something in that studio now. Some of the labor leaders, they are also a politician in their various states. The truth must be saying here. Now, when the guy is now saying that they were not going on strike because senator is collecting 13.5 million of running costs, does not know to him that those amounts of money those people are collecting is affecting their own salary. And then they are not below themselves and going on strike based on just 30,000 naira. Dr. Jide Johnson, this guy is being economical with the truth.
Yeah, okay.
The people be saying, yeah, I'm not believing any labor. They are telling us lies and fallacy. Thank you and God bless you.
And as we sit here, Jide, many states have become, it sounds like a broken record. Many states have as many as 1,000 aides, and these aides are not on minimum wage.
They are not on minimum wage. I think...
And labor won't go there.
Why should a state have 36 commissioners? Why? Why?
Representing the 36 states.
Oh, representing the 36 states. No, it's federal government of Nigeria. You see, there are deeper issues, and that has been our argument. We are not against labor, but we are saying that for this democracy to survive, labor needs to be more involved beyond the wages and salaries of its worker. There are issues that we need to... Why would you want to become the governor of a state if you cannot look for how to generate the resources within your state to pay the workers?
Let's go to Oshobo quickly. Comrade Ayo is waiting there. And Luther, I greet you. Welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Jones.
Yes, sir.
Good morning.
And good morning to Dr. Jide.
Good morning.
Johnson.
Yeah, Mr. Jones, you see, until labor begins to do the needful in the sense that when they take Nigeria as a whole, as their own constituency, it is not only when their interest is being affected by way of salary, that is when they go on strike. There are a lot of things that labor ought to have gone on strike for. Take, for instance, the issue of this running cost of senators. Let's assume Labour decided to block the Senate for about 3 days. Just imagine what will happen. But they are not doing that. Look at all our sectors. Almost all our sectors are collapsing. And what are they doing to their members who are equally partnering with the politicians to steal our money? What are they doing to their members? And as you rightly said, majority of these labor leaders in their respective states are politicians, are members of the ruling party. No doubt about that. Well, unless we want to be sharing the truth, that is the truth. See, until we start doing something drastic, until Labour decided to take the bull by the horn, that is when we will get a result. Coming out to say it is when you are affected by way of salary, that's when you go on strike. It will not help this country. See, this 30,000 minimum wage we are talking about, in the next 6 months, we'll still come back to the same place. Honestly, I'm telling you. Because the moment the salary is approved, you see prices of goods skyrocketing. And knowing the type of people we are, school fees will increase, all sorts of things. We still go back to the same thing. So it's not about even the money itself. It is the money, is the cost of living and what money can buy. That's the purchasing power of money. That is the most important thing. God bless Nigeria.
Bless you too.
To add to what he said, Labour did not go on strike for the refinery to be restored. Labour has not gone on strike for basic infrastructure to be provided. You see, the Labour needs to be...
We are still unable to generate 20 hours of electricity.
You see, so Labour...
I expect Labour to be there.
Labour, you see, you cannot separate the civil society from Labour. Now, I ask you this question. How active has Labour and the civil society been under this present democratic experience, 1999 to date, and compare Labour from the 50s to the 90s? Because for us to enjoy what is truly a democratic society, Labour must not limit its activities.
Labour must stand with with and by the people.
Exactly.
George is here in Lagos. George, I greet you. Welcome. Hello, George. Hello, George. Are we in business? Yeah, Labour must stand with and by the people. And this is one of those times. Okay, I hear George is here now. I greet you, sir.
Hello?
Good morning.
Okay, thank you very much. Citizen, you asked the Labour leader a question. Why is his committee, or why is Labour not in the tripartite committee that the government set up to look for ways and means of raising money to pay the workers the minimum wage? He said what concerns them with that one. That speaks volumes about the kind of labor we have in Nigeria. They are not interested in how the government raises the money. They connive with politicians to loot our money, and they will come out and say they want increase for only their own wages. They don't concern themselves about the welfare of the generality of Nigerians. Labor all over the world represents the interest of the common people, not just the workers. I listened to the long speech or long conversation you had with that labor leader. It says a lot about the kind of labor we have in our country. A lot of things are going on. We don't have people to speak for us with the government. They are compromised. And this is where we must begin. Citizens, the issue that Dr. Johnson raised about states being allowed to negotiate salaries, it will be very difficult to implement. If you give the kind of governors we have in this country the free hand to determine how much to pay workers, some of them will be paying 5,000. They should be forced. There is no governor in Nigeria that cannot pay 30,000 or even more than 30,000 if they cut waste and become responsible in their spending.
That's it. That's it.
Thank you.
Many thanks, George. Yeah, as we begin to wind down, the government is saying those earning already above the minimum wage, this committee, technical committee, will
look into it.
Yeah, yeah. So
I think government should still raise. You can't fight two battles at the same time. For me, if I had to advise government to counsel government, allow this dust to settle. We have not even still settled this dust. There is still the political dimension. The bill will still go to the National Assembly, and the respective states will need to domesticate this minimum wage. I think we should concern ourselves with this 30,000. And
are you seeing the road ahead?
The road ahead is turbulent. The road ahead is turbulent.
I mean, regarding this
30,000, because most
the
states,
National Assembly to the state assemblies?
To the National Assembly, there won't be any problem because we're in the political season. This law will be quickly passed, and then it's an executive bill. It will be quickly passed, and the president will assent to it. But it's at the state level. It's at the state level. You know, George raised one issue. He said if you allow the governors to, if the workers in the state can allow the governors to go away with blue murder, that's their, we must deepen democracy. And the way to deepen democracy and to have growth is to allow each state to grow at its own pace. Now, what made Nigeria to be better in the golden years of the 60s is that each region developed at its own pace. We can't be carrying the burden of everybody at the same time. That's my argument.
All right.
Change the structure. Let each structure function according to its ability.
For me, great ideas have come up now, and ideas are very funny things, Jide.
The developments.
They don't act until you act on them, you know. We want to thank you very kindly for your time.
It's a pleasure to be.
We hope you have recovered your cool.
No, we are not in traffic.
Okay.
You know?
Okay, then we must pack it all in here. There's another program tomorrow. Please join us bright and early. Do think Nigeria, breathe Nigeria, and dream Nigeria. I'm out of here.
Nigeria.
Bye-bye now.